Hi, Katrina Mitchell with Speak, and delighted to have Greg Nathan as our guest on this short clip. And we get so many requests, Greg, for your books, and we do keep a stock of your books here in our offices in Boulder, Colorado. I'd love it if you would just run through each of the titles and a little bit about the directed audience and the purpose of that book.
Sure. Look, the first book I wrote was Profitable Partnerships, and I wrote that after 10 years of researching what are the common challenges and solutions to healthy franchise relationships. And I poured my heart into this book, everything I knew, and it's written for both an audience of franchisees and franchisors. And every sentence and every chapter in this book is relevant to both parties in the relationship. We've sold over 100,000 copies of this book just through word of mouth, and we get a lot of great feedback. It's got a chapter in it on the franchisee factor, which we talked about in a separate tip. It's got a chapter on change. It's got a chapter on dealing with stress and keeping mentally healthy. So all the issues that I feel are very important. Now, I was at a client's premises one day, and the marketing manager said, look, I want to take you out for lunch and I've got an idea for you. And so we sat down and said, what's the idea? She said, you know that chapter on the franchisee factor in this book, you should write a separate book on that just for franchisors on how they can better lead and manage their franchisees through the process. So I'm very grateful to that person for giving me that idea. And so we came up with this quite a sharp, short little book called The Franchisee Factor. If you like, it's got secret franchisor business in it on how can they best lead franchisees. So it's written definitely for the franchisor executives in the company. Now, there's a particular group of executives that have the toughest job in franchising. And you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think they're the heroes of franchising.
Yeah, these are the field consultants, the business development consultants. There's lots of different names for them. And I wrote this. This is dedicated to them. It's called The Franchisor's Guide to Improving Field Visits. And in it, there's various models and tips on how to quickly build credibility when you're trying to help a franchisee, how to coach franchisees to improve their performance. What is the nature of the role? What are the skills that a field consultant needs to be successful? So that's all in this particular book. And we call it a guide because it's a very practical text. It's got a ring binder so people can turn it over if they're sitting on a plane and make notes and so on. So that's been very popular with the field consultants. And the last one I wrote was a compilation of some of my best tips. So as you know, every 2 weeks, I put out a 500-word tip on some aspect of the psychology of healthy franchise relationships. People said, how do we get hold of these in one piece? I don't want to have to keep going online and searching. So we put together this little book, the Franchise Relationships Book of Tips, and it's got all the favorite tips in it. A lot of our clients ask the executives to read one of the tips. So here's a tip. It's called Nightmare in a Guitar Shop, and it's got a case study of how do you create value when you're delivering customer service. And so the executives read the tip and then they discuss it for 5 minutes at the start of their weekly meeting. That's one way that this tip book is used. So there's 4 books, Katrina, that I've produced so far.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I know we often get calls for bulk orders and profitable partnerships. And just so everyone knows, we actually have a U.S. printer supplier for profitable partnerships and can do any size order. We have franchisors. We have in one instance, they ordered 6,000 copies of profitable partnerships to distribute to every one of their franchisees in North America. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to leverage Greg's tools, and I just want to put that out there. If you have any interest in Greg's books, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. And Greg, I want to thank you again for your time. You're so generous today and really appreciate your support.
Thank you. This is my life. This is all I do. I think, I write, and I work with franchisees and franchisors, and I love it. So thank you for listening.